This is Beth. And this is me. To celebrate Feldon Shelter tents being available across the ditch, we've built up this 300 TDI Defender and we're heading as deep as we can into the Outback. So we flew into Sydney and went straight from the airport to the Adventure Merchants. Met up with Brendan. We'd been talking about this truck for months and this is our first time seeing it. The Adventure Merchants had been working on the truck. It had new paint, the engine had a refresh, wheels, tyres, suspension, racks. A secret prototype. So you can choose how far out you want it, you can choose the angle, and you'll be able to choose how many boards you want. So this is a bit of a test run. So we spent the first 2 nights in the workshop, getting the truck ready. We were adamant that we were going to leave that night, so we were putting in some serious hours, you know, getting the tents on, finishing off all the last minute niggly stuff. And it ended up being so late, I think it was 1 or 2 a.m, that we just ended up sleeping right there in the workshop in the tent. The goal of the trip was to get as deep into the Outback as we could. We were starting in Sydney, so that limited our options. So we decided to head west out to Silverton, which is flat, orange, and just exactly what we wanted. So that was the first run for the truck, just 5 hours punching it straight down the motorway. Us barely awake, and we made it. Yeah, not a bad place to wake up. Oh, break the fisheries officer just came for a chat. In most states you have to have a permit to fish.
Years ago they had nothing other than these, no, you know, that was what they were. Either these or Willie Street. Yeah.
He does not rate Land Rovers. He's got a Land Cruiser back at home, and his first question was, why would you trip around in one of these? Beth and myself had talked about like a checklist of animals that we wanted to see during our trip through the Outback. We stumbled across this perfect little koala sitting in the tree. All the locals were saying how we'd be lucky to see one awake and that they're really lazy. But it was like jumping between trees and looking at us and flicking his ears. We were pretty lucky. End of day 2, we were just thumping along this big straight highway, and Beth saw something, and we decided to go back and check it out. And it turns out it was just this dried up lake with all these kind of prehistoric looking fossil trees for as far as you could see, and I've never seen anything like it. Apparently they have a fruit fly problem, so we are eating all the fruit and veggies we bought for the next week, pretty much.
So 1 ever down and 2 more to go. About 6 other timers. We've already eaten the bananas. We're going to be healthy at least.
Don't know how many more petrol stations there'll be in between now and Silverton, so it's always really important to fill up, and we've got some jerry cans in the back which are pretty important when you're heading out to the Outback. Finally made it to Silverton. And something I didn't realise was that the opening scene of Mad Max 2, I think the second one, was filmed all around the roads around the little town here, which is really obvious as soon as you step foot into it. You walk up to the bar and there's a dog sitting on the stool with his owner, like you can't beat that kind of pub. So we just went in, had a drink, filled up our stomachs and kind of sat down and just looked at the maps and game planned the next steps and where we were going to sleep that night. It was pitch black, but you knew the roads were orange, it was flat, and we'd definitely made it to where we wanted to be.